Hey guys, Encore Performance here, back with another video. In this one, this is pretty much just me and Conan testing out some of the new Indian Civs and one of the really powerful strats you could pull off with the Gurjaras. Sorry if my pronunciation's off on anything. We're going to be playing Rune Stones, as this is in the current map pool, and I quite enjoy it. As you can see here, this Civ actually starts with two forage bushes under the TC, so we're going to move on to those. We're also going to have to drop an early mill onto our berries once we find them. This sets us back slightly on the food production, but as you can see, that mill is going to produce food for us with those animals inside. So thanks to this, we can rely on pushing deer, berry bushes, eventually pulling boars. We're just going to have to do everything quicker and earlier, but in the long run, this is really going to profit us and help out. You can see Conan's playing the Hindustanis. He's going to, I'm not quite sure what his strategy is going to be. It looks, yeah, everything seems to be meta here. Maybe not quite, but pretty close. Our boars are pretty far away, so bringing them in is going to be a bit of a pain. Camel Scout's a very cool design, bit slower but way more HP, bonus damage versus the Scout, I believe. Quite nice to see, good addition to the game. So like I said, this does work out long run, because as you can see here, we have 3 villagers on berries, we have about 6 on a boar now. We almost lost the villager there, so we had to quick wall, but it's fine. And this is still producing food at about 1 a second. You can see it ticking up in the top left. 88, 89. You can see Conan's taking in his boar, a little bit of idle time from him, which is to be expected. Even though it's lots of improvements since last time we've seen Conan play. Bringing a villager up here, we're going to start our early game walling. Just going to build a house here, as once I go up to feudal, I'm on 25. I'm going to get quite a bit of food just for free while going up, and this is going to stay around for the entire game. I'm also going to be two lumber camps, so I can immediately place my mark in a blacksmith. We're going to try and incorporate them into our walls, so just come along these trees down to the side of the map, I think. At the moment, I'm just scouting out relics and gold resources. Yeah. Putting down our first barracks here, as we are going to go for camels and our unique unit, which actually complements the camels pretty well, as it is the chakram thrower, an excellent counter to pikemen. So once you incorporate the two together, they work perfectly. So yeah, dropping our first stable. Like I said, bit of idle time from me too, not perfect. Trying my best though. Yeah, this scout cover is going to run in here. I'm going to narrowly miss it with my camel scout, actually, surprisingly. Left side, still walling here. There's that market I mentioned we were going to drop. Instead of immediately going to the blacksmith, I'm actually placing a couple of stables. And you can see I built a second camel scout now, and this should be enough to track down Conan's and kill it, I do believe. In fact, actually, I think this works out really well for us, because as you can see, Conan's going to run into the TC. We're going to take a few hits, but we're going to also damage this villager here. I'm going to figure out Conan's chasing this one, so I'm just going to take those spearmen for a spin, killing off some villagers here. I think I get, yeah, about 2, maybe 3. No, only 2, unfortunately, but it is definitely worth it. Conan's bringing some spears that just from that scout he was chasing, or that camel rider, now upgraded, he was chasing, so they're just going to hit this barracks for a bit. I've got some spears of my own. Yeah. So you can see I've just gone up to Castle Age. I'm going to place a TC right here, as it brings in more wood income, as that is the one thing about rune stones. While gold and stone are plentiful, wood is actually rather lacking. Over here, we're going to get down another TC just for that stone income, as my stones aren't in great places. One's on the front of my base, so it's really exposed. One here, I've sort of incorporated it into my wall to the point that it's awkward to mine and also dangerous yet. This is where Conan's going to fall a bit behind his infamous wood line, of course, and lack of farms around the TC, and instead placing them around the mill. He's relying very heavily on stones. We're probably going to see a castle drop. He's going to build a university on here, bringing up some archers. These really should be upgraded. I'm not sure. Does he have his blacksmith upgrades? Yeah, he does. Should be crossbow, though. I was going for the relic here, actually, and I caught him castle dropping, so I managed to kill off all the villagers. Quite close, though. Then, thankfully, just with the better upgraded army, I built longswords to counter these building skirmishers and pikes. So with the longswords, thankfully, they cleaned that up pretty good, and these non-crossbow archers aren't doing great. This longsword's just going to knock down the castle, while the villagers get mine up. This is just going to secure the front of my base and doubt his castle, pretty much. He's going to come in, he's going to try some fancy builds here, and they're actually going to be working out good. Unfortunately, though, Conan wasn't quite paying attention. You can see he did try, though, so A+ for effort there for sure. And here's where things get really unfortunate with the hill. It's actually tough for Conan to see there's still a gap there, even it doesn't look like it at all, which is why I really don't like the way hill placement works in Age of Empires. You can see Conan fully seals he thinks everything's good, he thinks he's got the castle. I'm gonna grab that swordsman, I'm just gonna click, he's gonna walk right through. Really unfortunate for him. Top here, I'm just watching this relic, that way I can keep it for myself. Speaking of relics, I do believe, yep, there's one coming in right now. We've expanded, possibly, yeah, just a couple more farms on our TCs. Really mining that stone, like I said. This castle, we're going to build some more of our unique unit, the chakram thrower. Bringing our monk up to go for that relic. This army's just going to pretty much guard and protect it. Down here, you can see, unfortunately for Conan, again, I do manage to spot this within my line of sight. He's going for the hill advantage, I believe, and once again, just those hills messed up his building. But I can't really talk. We've all been there. It's brutal with the placement. On a positive note, though, these castles they've made look really good. Along with all the architecture, universities look great, barracks is nice. I think most things had a small little change. Like I could be wrong. I think barracks might have had a small change, but just the castles and monasteries look great. So we bring in that second relic of ours. Have a close call with Conan's own castle, which again also looks awesome. He's used it to secure this gold in the center, which is a good play from him. We're going to go around over to this left relic I scouted. We're just going to watch. Or actually, no, this is our raid. We're just going to check that relic, though. And see, like I said, we're going to be using camel riders and chakram throwers as they complement each other great. Good way to counter chakrams, cavalry. What do camels counter? Cavalry. How do you counter camels? Pikes. That's exactly where our chakram throwers are made for. As you can see, we're going to get some early damage in here. It's going to be good. Conan's going to call in the bell. Thankfully, we can still get a couple kills. Conan's going to bring up an army of his own unique unit. Yeah, from his castle and some camels. It's not going to work out though, great, unfortunately. Yeah, see, this is the one thing with playing Conan. He's a good player, he understands game sense, he's got everything there. Look at this, mining gold, everything TCs, we're just not seeing that villager production. We need this queue filled, we need this queue filled, we need to see like rows of farms and stuff. That's what's giving me the advantage here. I'm actually just spamming outposts because I was concerned of another castle drop. And speaking of which, we can see a bunch of Conan's villagers here running across the map along with a bear, which they're actually going to brutally murder. Thankfully, I'm here to avenge the bear. And with the way Conan plays this, I don't really have much choice. You can see we're still just... Yeah, that was a great move. I got distracted. Conan's going to come down here. He's going to check out our base. He's going to see that town center, back down. Come right about here, start building that castle. And this is going to be good play for him. He's going to build those walls. And it looks like he's got it. I'm trying to send military. Doesn't look like they'll be there on time. Unfortunately, I have to resort to using villager on villager and kill 3 of Conan's with my own. Then bring these chakram throwers over to finish the rest. Conan's going to go for another castle. And unfortunately, we're going to have to doubt it as well. You can see we've gone slightly overboard with the outpost. I don't know. It was fun. So yeah, by this point you've won. Again, we're incorporating that Elite Shurivamasha Rider. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the pronunciation. My apologies. I'm coming out to take out Conan's castle here. Unfortunately, though, with the raiding, he's just not building back on that economy. He's unfortunately going to have to call the GG. So you can see how that's a really overpowered strategy. Just gives you that slight early game disadvantage, but once you get it, you're going to pull through. It's almost like you have a whole nother villager working food just for free without that pop, without that farm space mill. It's just a small boost that helps more than you think. You can check stats, as always. So obviously, if you were playing a player more your level or more competent, you'd just have to be a bit quicker with it. Since Conan and I are both low yellow legends, though, it works. So just try that with a bit more efficiency, and it should do great for you. Thank you guys very much for watching. Have a good one, and enjoy the new Civs.